Nyawargak Kiir, and this is Waraga Global Influence Podcast, where we get to impact your lives, we educate your mind, and inspire your heart. It doesn't matter whether you are students, a professional, or an entrepreneur. I think this is for you. Now, my advice is one thing: just grab your notepad, grab your pen, because be ready to learn, because we are about to go on a journey and we will take you along in this journey, in this exciting journey. Today we are going to dive in deeper into public speaking and branding, what it means to start building your personal brand. And with me today is an image consultant. She's an image consultant. She's doing great and amazing. She's making wave in her field, and you'll get to meet her right now. And most importantly, she is going to take us through what it really means to be, to take up your your space, because your voice is power. And let's dive right in. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
Thank you so much for making time.
It's a pleasure, and also thank you so much for hosting me. It means a lot because what you're doing is adding value to so many people's lives. So it's always an honor to be in a space where lives are being transformed.
Wow, amazing. We're happy to have you.
Thank you.
So tell us about Faith. What's your story? Who is Faith Fetaru, this young lady that is making so much wave?
Fetaru is the brand.
I like that.
End of story. Anyway, so I'm Faith Fetaru, and currently I'm an executive image consultant, which means that I help individuals or corporate entities to work on their brands. So when it comes to individuals or people, I help them in terms of their appearance, communication, behavior in terms of etiquette, but also to position their personal brands online, because we're in that digital era. But also on the corporate side of it, I'm more into communications and public relations strategy for corporate entities. Yeah, so besides that, I'm a speaker, I moderate corporate events, and also founded the Fetaru School of Etiquette and Public Speaking, where we're raising global voices with
Hello.
grace and purpose. Yeah, because I realized that so many people have technical skills, they have the academic credentials, but they cannot express themselves, or some cannot even package their brands very well. And I've seen people lose opportunities.
True.
I've seen people lose relationships just because of those things. They seem so small, but then they're the things that actually make lots of impact out here. Why do I say that? I have a foundation in land surveying. That is where what I have my bachelor's degree in. That's like the co-found career or something that someone would say I would be doing right now. But then I got to discover who I am, what I want to be known for, which I believe is people development. That's where my passion is, that's where my heart is. And yeah, I'm on this path. But why am I thriving and growing in this space? As part of it are these soft skills, because they're the things that put you out there. You get to connect with people with ease, because people love to feel comfortable around us. So yeah, that's something I would say.
Oh, amazing. Fetaru is a brand.
A brand.
Not just any brand, it's a global brand.
Global brand, and above all, a God brand.
Yes.
That one.
And a child of God. Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
Tell us about brand. I don't want to assume many people might not even understand what it really means to build a brand. What is personal branding?
In a very simple way, I would say personal branding is how people experience you. What do I mean by that is, what comes to mind when your name is mentioned, right? If they mention
I like that. That's a great example.
Yes.
What comes to mind when you hear about Rihanna, about Kelly, about Obama?
That's the point. About you, what comes to mind? Because for me, when your name is mentioned, what comes to my mind is impact and someone who is a go-getter. That's the brand you've subconsciously built even before.
So do you.
Going to intention. Before you go to intentional branding. So it's, like I said, it's how people experience you, because now how they experience you causes them to have a perception of you that when you come to mind, that's what they think about. So this can actually be from the negative point of view, because let me give an example. If Let me assume if someone is always late, subconsciously you've built a brand. Every time people go somewhere like, oh, that one is always late, that's already a personal brand you've built subconsciously. But now when you talk about this personal branding, which is intentional, is where you now say, you know what? This is who I am, this is what I do, but I want the world to actually experience this with intentionality, which means that you're not trying to fake an image, but you're putting your brand, who you are, to the world, and the value that you give to the world. Now you're giving it with more intentionality. You're shaping people's perception on how they perceive you, but also how they experience you in a more positive manner. Because, yeah, we have a lot to offer to the world. Yeah.
I like what you just said. It's about who you are. You're actually sharing your story with the world, what's your God-gifted talent, and living it. Authenticity, right? You have to be authentic. And at the end of the day, you cannot copy other people. You just have to, you're literally sharing who you are and telling people that I'm worth recognizing, because relevancy today is very crucial aspect.
On the other side of personal branding, which is your appearance, how you communicate, now those are how you form first impressions. Now, how about online? So when it's online, this headshot, that profile picture you have is like your moment to form a first impression when someone approaches your profile. So how you treat it is very important.
Correct.
So go get a headshot. Go to a studio. That's investing in
Come
your
to
brand.
Unity Studio.
Yes.
And take
where we are right now.
Yeah, take executive, nice corporate photos. Yeah.
Take something, even if it's just one, start with one. Take that beautiful headshot. Look good, smile. Put it there on your profile picture. That is your way of forming a first good impression. And then your name. Sometimes you have different names across different platforms. So if I'm to go on Google or Safari or any search engine to search for you, it will be hard to find you.
True.
So make sure you have a consistent name on all your profiles. Trust me, if you type Faith Fetaru on any search engine, it will bring you all the platforms where I am, because I've made it uniform. It's Faith Fetaru. Anywhere you'll find me, Faith Fetaru. So that's the whole point. So make it consistent. And then your bio, what is there on your bio? I mean, sometimes someone will just say, I'm a good girl. Yeah, you're a good girl, but what value are you adding to the world? So besides being that very good girl, add to us now. Tell us maybe, I help brands develop, or I help people communicate, or, you know, all these things. Or I help businesses do this. Whatever you are, put it there. Or you're a business consultant, you're an educator. Put it there on your bio. Let people see. After this headshot, let them come to that. And then the rest of the things, fill in all those things. Now, platforms like LinkedIn give you an opportunity. LinkedIn is actually like a CV.
For professionals,
you have an opportunity to put your experiences, your academic credentials, and all of that. Your about section, you can even give details of everything. Someone comes and finds a lot about you, but it doesn't stop there. Now, what value are you offering to the world? Content. So don't just be someone who comes and just views other people's content, or you just post once in a while.
You're just helping. It's not a bad thing to help other people build their brand, but what are you building yourself?
Yes, let it be a two-way thing. Support others, but also build something for yourself. Two-way. I believe in two-way kind of relationships. So this is the thing. Now start to create content, because for people to see you as that transformative person, for people to trust your brand, for you to become that person that they remember when your field is mentioned, is for you to give value. What content are you putting out? Educate people, give people value, inform them, share your experiences. If you've done something, show them. If you're someone who is hands-on, your brand is in something that is hands-on, show them your behind-the-scenes processes. Show them how you took a client through something. Share those testimonials. I mean, it doesn't mean that you'll always be serious. Sometimes, even if it's in a fun way, these days some platforms can allow you to even, create some fun videos, but you're still able to show people what you're doing with your brand. So be creative, be flexible, be yourself, but put value out there, because that's what is going to cause people to start remembering you for your field, or for that profession that you have, or for that brand that you're building. It's what's going to cause you to come to people's minds when an opportunity comes in line with what you do. It's what's going to cause people to come to you, because you're a solution you're a solution giver. So building your brand actually places you as someone who offers solutions to the world in whatever space that you've chosen. Because we're called to be solution givers, we're called to be answers to the world. So when you build your brand, you're telling the world that, you know what, I have solutions. and these are the solutions that I'm offering. And this is how I'm championing. This is how I can help you. So yeah, go out there and build that brand, and then build relationships out there. Besides the content, there are people that connect with people online. Networking is not just in physical interactions. Go out there and connect with people, and then do amazing things, because I've seen a lot come out for me online.
Yeah.
Because I've given value. I've seen people mention my name in rooms where I've not been. I've seen myself collaborate on projects. But how was it? Because of social
Online
media.
platform.
Yeah, so there's power there. Yes, it's not just enough to have influence in your community physically, but the social media gives you a platform to touch so many lives across the world. So embrace it. We're in that era.
Wow. Amazing. I love what you said about, not only building your brand on social media, but offline as well. And it all come down to what you just mentioned about finding who you are.
Yes.
What is it that God has gifted you? Because I don't believe that anybody can come on this earth without anything.
No.
God has gifted each one of us. It is your job to find it. And that has to do with you doing self-discovery. And that is offline, right?
Yes.
Today people buy people, actually.
True.
If I don't buy you, I can't buy everything that is behind you. I have to buy you first before I buy collection, a faith collection. Sorry, I've mentioned something that you're working on.
It's okay.
So even in leadership, they said that before they buy anything, your vision, they buy a leader before their vision.
Powerful.
So who are you, first of all, and what value are you adding? Because we ought not to be reservoirs, but rivers that flow through other people's lives. So I like the part that you took us through the offline, what it means to build a personal brand offline and online. Because oftentimes we also get this wrong. We look at these celebrities. Let's talk about somebody like like Beyonce or R. Kelly, and we just assume that because they are famous. I think there's difference between being famous and being popular and also building a brand. It doesn't mean when somebody is a famous out there that they can even advise you or tell you about how to build a personal brand. Like I called you on this show because I know that you are good at that. You are expert on that. So people actually don't differentiate between being famous and really having that brand that stands out, because you can be famous, you can be popular, but it doesn't mean you've built a brand, right? So I really like that part. And people will be wondering why does it concern me to buy, to build a personal brand? Why should I build a personal brand? What benefits does that come with? Which I think you've mentioned quite a number.
Yeah, but I can add some. Number one, it helps you stand out. If you don't build it, you will not stand out. Even let me bring something for those who read the Bible and believe in it. The Bible says your city is set on a hill. You cannot be hid. You get it?
Yes.
Who lights a candle and hides it under? So that's the whole
Hallelujah.
point. You can't hide. So if you know you're that light of the world, trust me. There's nothing that can stop you. So that's what personal branding does. It makes you stand out. It makes you shine. It causes people to know your light, for people to see your light.
Yeah.
And when light shines, it's undeniable. It's like when the sun is shining, we can't deny that the sun is shining.
Cannot.
We even say the sun is here. It has risen now.
Cannot.
So we acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So that's what your personal brand does.
And the sun is already shining outside.
And we've seen it and we acknowledge it and say, it's now brighter, it's brighter. So that's what your brand does. It makes you stand out among everyone else. Yes, everyone can do what you do, but how will they notice you among all of them? It's because of your personal brand. You see, that's what it does. There are many educators out there. There are many doctors out there. But what will make you stand out in this world where so many people are online is you building an intentional personal brand. And that's how people keep remembering you. But number two, opportunities, like I mentioned earlier. Opportunities come to those who position themselves. If you're not visible, who knows you?
Nobody will know you. Nobody will.
If you're not visible, no one knows you. So not many opportunities are going to come to you.
Absolutely.
So if you're intentional about putting your brand out there, that means opportunities will come your way. Because personally, opportunities have come for me across borders and everything, through clients, through collaborating with people. But how did those come? Because I've been building my brand purposefully and intentionally, online and offline. That's what your personal branding does. In the offline side of it, for example, you meet people, and then how you treat them, how you connect with them, leaves a lasting impact. You keep you keep relating with them, and boom, a lot is happening between you both. I mean, between you two. You see that? So that's what your personal brand does. Opportunities come. It's endless. And I know even you who is watching out there, you've seen people who are visible online, and a lot comes to them. Maybe some have this ambassador roles for different brands, others are getting more opportunities, people invited for speaking engagements, people are being hosted in different spaces, but it's because they decided to show up. And then number 3, one thing I can say is that it builds your confidence. Now, that is the most important for me, that I would say, because your personal brand has to firstly impact you. Because if you know who you are,
has to work for you first.
Yes. If you know the value that you carry and what gifts that you can give to the world, and you know yourself, you're unstoppable. There's a way you'll enter into rooms because you know who you are.
Absolutely.
You know the value you give to the world. That's what your personal brand does for you. It gives you that confidence in yourself. And that I mentioned it last because that's like the most powerful. Your personal brand firstly works to your advantage. Now for me, because of my brand, I know I can enter any space and I'm still good. Because I've worked on my brand, I know I'll go somewhere and I'll still communicate effectively, and I'll learn how to behave with people cross-culturally because I've worked on my brand.
You've worked on
and
it.
also I've
You've
worked on other
invested
parts.
in it.
Yeah, I've worked on other aspects of my brand, like understanding etiquette, so that if I go to a certain space, let me
You know the behavior and
yes, how I behave, and understand how I need to interact with people of different backgrounds. So that gives me confidence to network with anyone in any room. You see that? That's me working on that's how my brand gives me confidence. Or you know how to dress very well. Anything about dress code, even we ladies understand it the most. When we dress so well, we have those heels, you feel like you own the world the way you
even the confidence,
confidence
actually.
Yes, that's what working on your personal brand does. And then let's even touch the part of communication. If I can communicate well, and I have this, doesn't mean fear doesn't come, but if I can speak well and I know people are touched by it, I'll enter that room and I'll still give that value to people because I'm confident in myself.
Exactly.
So your personal brand still builds your confidence. So that's something I would say. Number 1, it works to your advantage because you become more confident in who you are. Because you know yourself, you're like, yeah, I know who I am. I can do this, I can do that. And then the opportunities, the standing out, and all these other things come in. Yeah.
Wow, how difficult is it? Because I also don't want my viewers to think that it's easy. I mean, we are building brands right now. Especially me, I'm on the verge of building brands, and I've started already, but it's not easy at all. It's not easy. And I would like you to maybe share perhaps few challenges that one can face and how to overcome such challenges, because there's nothing easy. Nothing comes easy. And every easy thing is not always a good thing.
So number 1, I'll share. I think this affects so many people. Number 1 is what they call imposter syndrome. Sometimes you're building your brand and you feel like, do I even belong here? Or am I just trying to do something that I am not? You try. And I would say it's sort of like fear, but yeah, it causes you to feel like you do not deserve the rooms you enter into, or you do not deserve the kind of brand you're building. You feel like it's for other people. So that thing can sort of sometimes hold you back. You're like, do I even need to really post this? How will some people view me?
Yeah.
You get that thing? So that's one of the challenges you can face, because I faced it at some point at the start, because you're putting these things here, now it's image consulting, but you're like, am I really
doing what an image consultant supposed to do?
Yeah. Oh, what will people say?
Yeah.
Now you're acting like you're this and that.
Yeah.
You see, all of that can sometimes affect you when building your brand. You're like, let me just leave this thing and continue with my life. But for me, the solution I'll give the challenges and solutions. The solution for that is what we talked about earlier. Who are you? Do you know who you are? Because if you really know who you are, even when sometimes you're faced with imposter syndrome, like, am I just trying to impose myself? This is actually not me, or what? It will guide you because you know the end of your life. Now, for example, deep within me, I know I am a great person. I know I was created for a purpose. So that means if I have this consciousness, if I have this mindset constantly, it will help me when those fears come, those insecurities come. You're like, you know what? I am born for greatness. So this is really who I am, and the world will definitely get to see this. And with time, you overcome that, and you're actually building the brand, and lives are being transformed. But what if you let yourself become, like, if you got yourself stopped because of those thoughts of feeling like, maybe I'm just imposing myself, maybe I'm just trying, this is not me. And then number two, that merges with fear. Because fear comes in the form of sometimes people's words, people's judgment. What will people say? These are the people we talk to every day. How will they now see me? Like, now and also there are people who actually start watering down what you're doing. It happens. People water down what you do. Now we see you're doing this, and do you really think you will do this? Do you think you can manage this? All those negative voices, avoid. One of the things, because words are powerful.
Very powerful.
Words are so powerful. Positive or negative words are powerful. So what you let inside of you will determine sometimes how, if you're not strong enough, it will determine the outcomes of your life. So that also causes fear at the end of the day. I think they're right. What if I can't even make it? What if my background is this and this? And people from our side have never achieved this or have never built a brand. So that's very powerful. So sit down with yourself and just affirm yourself always. One thing I can say to get rid of fear is affirm yourself. Keep telling yourself who you are, where you're going, and the impact that you're yet to make to the world. Because sometimes when you think of the impact that you can make, or the transformation you can bring about in people's lives, you will let go of fear and do the needful. And also get so intentional about the people around you.
Yeah.
Where there's negativity, limit it. Because trust me, all that negative talk will get to you, and it will affect your dreams. That's the truth. Like they say, truth infallible. Yeah.
and it's true. You talked about how words can be powerful. Actually, words are very powerful.
Very powerful.
Words can either build you or break you.
True.
I mean, I don't care anybody. Like, you just have to, avoid some of the negative environment, and that's when also the low end environment comes in. What kind of circle are you keeping around you?
True.
Are there people that push you down, that water down every good vision that would have changed the world?
Yes.
Are there people that push you, people like Faith, that really celebrates you and say, go for it, this is amazing? Because sometimes we really undermine some of those little things, like being around an environment that doesn't allow growth. Sometimes it's very difficult. Yeah.
So besides that, another challenge that you can always face is consistency, especially online. I personally have also experienced it. To keep putting that content consistently, to keep showing up, it's very
difficult.
Tough. It's tough. Hey.
Recently, I was like, I can't do this media thing.
Like, I throw in the towel.
Yes, like about, being consistent in terms of posting, and that is one thing that I really, and by the way, guys, nobody gets it all. You can be good at this particular area, you're bad here, but you just need to also, have a right environment, have a right people around you. They may not necessarily help you doing it exactly, but their words will keep you moving.
Yes.
And being close to God. Like, I don't care who you are. All of us, we should just have we should just be close to our Creator.
Yeah, so consistency is very important when you're building your brand, but it's one of the things that challenges many people face, like just to be consistent, to keep showing up. Even, most especially for personal brands, but even in our daily lives, just to keep showing up and doing something daily.
Even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it takes discipline. So one thing I can say is that learn it, And even if you start small, don't bombard yourself like, okay, now let me start by posting every day. Start with what you can manage. If you can start posting weekly, it will start ringing in people's heads that, oh, this lady does this, she's posting every week. Or if from there, if you can get better, do twice a week. Be progressive. That will help you to be more consistent. But if also one thing I'll say is, whenever I need to take a break, take that break, but come back stronger. You get it? So consistency was also a challenge for me.
I love
and I know many people
I had that. In fact, I'm guilty of that.
But it's, in building your personal brand, it's very crucial. And then, and also the last challenge I would talk about, there are quite many, but I just needed to share a few, is the fact that people need results immediately.
They're impatient
to have results. So someone starts to build their brand, and then 1 month occurs and they've not seen maybe something happen, an opportunity, they want to give up. So that immediate gratification is also a challenge that many face when it comes to personal branding. Right. Because personal branding it's a thing of building trust. So the more you keep showing up consistently, people will notice you, and then things eventually come. But if you come with the thing of, oh, I need to be satisfied immediately, and then that's what causes frustration for many, and then they just want to give up. Oh, this thing is not for me. It's a lie. It doesn't work. It's
a scam.
It's a scam. So that's a challenge some people face when it comes to personal branding, because they've said personal branding is important. Now you just want to get the results like tomorrow. So it's a long-term game, but it works to your advantage when you do it intentionally and very well. Yeah.
Wow, it's true. One of the things that really, nothing is overnight. Nothing can ever be done overnight, right? Everything you're building, whether it's a house, it has to start from a foundation. And that consistency is very crucial in everything that you want to build in life. There was a time I looked at my YouTube and I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, how many months since we started this? And we're giving out good content. We use a lot of things like our energy. Most importantly, we do it with love. It's all about impact. Nobody pays us for this. But then I was like, why aren't people, subscribing? People are watching, and people are even reaching out to me on Facebook, telling me, go on, this is an amazing thing, I learned this has changed me. But I'm not seeing those comments on the YouTube. What is happening or what is not happening?
But this is for you who is watching this right now. You better go hit that subscribe button.
Yes,
and leave
you have
those comments.
to. We can't do this alone. I mean, we're doing it for people, and people have to also, show that this is impactful to them.
You know what? That actually reminds me of the fact that one of the challenges many people actually face, it just reminded me, is that people don't want to pay the price sometimes. Yet everything, like you said, that we do out here requires sacrifices.
Yeah, it does.
The sacrifice can be in terms of the resources. You put in a lot to make this happen. It can be in terms of your time. It can be, so personal branding demands all of that from you. You need to invest in knowledge to refine probably how you can show up online, to refine how you communicate, to refine all these things. But sometimes we don't want to pay the price. So that means your brand will not have the results it needs to have. So those are challenges. It requires investment and a price to pay from your end. So, but it works to the advantage of those who know this is the price I need to pay. I'm gonna pay it.
And be consistent and just do it, even if people aren't supporting. One time they would remember and they will appreciate the fact that you're putting something good out there.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that. I want us to talk maybe a little bit about public speaking.
Yay!
The favorite, public speaking is a fear of so many.
Yeah.
And I once was in that. I mean, fear doesn't go completely, right? But then you just have to decide and be intentional about, you know what, I'm not meant for this. I'm meant for greatness, as you said earlier. And how do we crush this glossophobia? English, don't disappoint me.
At this point.
So how do we, get rid and really crushed into pieces this thing called glossophobia? Of the fear of public speaking, because it's actually deprived us from a lot of opportunity. Because confidence is it's becoming stronger and stronger every day a stronger currency that will open doors for you. Many of us, we've lost so many opportunities, because of the fear of public speaking. You can't be able to express yourself. You can't even get your salary increase because you are faced with fear of public speaking. Some of us will rather actually be in room with lions than come out and speak. You'd rather be locked in a den of lions like Daniel. The only problem is if you are not with God, you may not survive it. Yeah. So many of us will even, say that I don't have a problem. Let me be thrown in the dens of lions than coming in the crowd and speak. Yeah. So how do we really deal with that?
I love that question because everyone, even the great speakers you see out there, they still face anxiety or fear one way or the other. Only that they learn to show up regardless. Right. They all do.
The consistency you were saying and intentionality.
Yes. Personally, the rooms you enter and the first few seconds, you first ask yourself, woo, am I
going to do this?
Yeah. But the point is, you have value to give the world. So you have to show up either way. So that's just the primary thing I needed to say, that even the seasoned speakers, the great speakers we see out there, they still face anxiety sometimes. They fear as well. So that should also tell you that, it's okay to feel that. But what makes a difference is how you handle it. Are you going to let it keep you behind the curtains, or are you going to still come to the forefront regardless? So one of the things I will say is, prepare. Preparation is very key. But then by preparation, I don't mean that you need to memorize everything. Unless if you are in such a conversation where everything has to be word for word. But one thing that can help you actually avoid that phase, because have I remembered everything? So you reach at the front or you start speaking to people and then you forget one word like this and it has already put you off balance and you can't even recover anymore. Prepare for speaking engagements, prepare everything. But the most important thing is, don't just focus on memorizing things from word to word. At least remember the key points. Yes, remember the key points and then flow. Speak from your heart and let everything come out.
But again, authenticity plays very huge role.
But if you're going to just focus on, I need it word to word, I need everything the way I read it, trust me, if you make that slight mistake, you're going to find yourself, and that's what's going to make you fear, because you'll be fearing, what if I forget my lines? What if I fear this? Actually, before I even continue further, let me just share that there are different forms of fear. There's that fear of actually not remembering things, but then there's also fear of judgment. What will people say? Am I actually looking good? Am I dressed well? How is my voice? Am I eloquent? How is my accent? Now, those are the fears of judgment when people say this and that. So, and then the third one is what you just mentioned, that need for perfectionism. Yes. It's also a form of fear in public speaking. So I just needed to address some of those fears in public speaking, because I need to be so polished before I can speak. I need to, as long as you were waiting for perfection, actually...
I need to wear eyelashes from here up to, up to the camera.
Yes, most times procrastination comes dressed in perfectionism. So you just want everything to be perfect. But in there, you're actually procrastinating and delaying your own destiny. So those are some forms of fear. So because of that fear, number one, how to now address that one from remembrance is by the point I initially remembered. Prepare, but don't focus so much on memorizing everything word to word, comma for comma, unless it's that kind of speech. But just be open-minded. Remember your main points, but then find a way of expressing it in your own ways. That will give you confidence. Because as long as you're waiting for, you'll be on tenterhooks. But number two, one thing I can also, a point that I can add to that is that believe in yourself. Learn to affirm yourself. It starts with you. So tell yourself, I am a great speaker. Anytime I open my mouth, lives are transformed.
Yes.
Tell yourself that the world is waiting to hear this message that you have.
Correct.
Tell yourself, I'm the solution to people's problems. So when you take yourself as that, as you affirm yourself that way, you'll know that anytime you open your mouth, a life has to be transformed. Now, that is actually the mindset I have every day when I go somewhere to speak. Because I know that someone's life cannot remain the same. So if I know that I am the solution to the world, I am solution to people's problems, or I have answers for people, it means that regardless of how I'm feeling or I'm afraid and all of that, I'll know that, this is who I am. I am sent for this, so I have to do it.
Yeah.
So affirm yourself, because it also builds your confidence.
Correct.
Because if I mentioned it earlier, if you know you're great, you're a great speaker, tell yourself I am a great. At least make an effort every day to at least affirm yourself. And if it's on one thing, at least affirm yourself. To build your confidence, to help you to show up out there, even when you feel anxiety, you know who you are. So you'll speak because you know who you are.
Exactly, you're sure of yourself.
Your royalty.
And just to add to what you just said, sometimes it is like the bar is high, right?
Yeah.
The kind of audience that maybe you're going to speak to are people that you probably really are higher than you, and then you're like, oh my God, how am I going to speak? How will the words come? And I think another pressure that we face as human beings is also, we want, like the perfectionist that you talked about. Sometimes a great speaker really doesn't have to be perfect, right? They just need to know. You need to shift the focus or the light to the audience instead of putting the light on you, right? Because when you put the light on you, then it becomes about you. It's about you. How do I look? What kind of message am I delivering? Is this message loved? It then becomes about you. But once you shift the light now, and not becoming a spotlight, when you shift the light to the audience, it becomes like, what does my audience like? How do I, impact them? How do I, what do they need in order to be helped in this and this area? And I think that really can make it easier.
I'm really here clapping for you, because you just made my work easy. You just demystified one of the points I was going to give, that shift the focus from yourself but to people. Many times our focus
That's why the self-doubt comes in.
Yes.
Because you're like, how am I dressing? Like,
I
imagine
know,
if I
right?
was dressing, by the way, we look smart. If I was to be like, how will Faith, perceive me? Faith has a very high, fashion sense. How will Faith? Imagine if my focus was all on that. I would probably even be late.
Yes. So the point is, that was going to be my third point, so you've answered it. So let's give a very big round of applause to our host. So shift the focus from yourself to people, because at the end of the day, your heart should be that, like you said, is to transform lives. So if your heart is to genuinely transform lives, then you will let go of yourself and go out there and speak, even when you're afraid and everything, because your focus is not me, I.
Yeah.
But your focus is them, the people, the what. If your heart is humanity, you let go of
Me,
any
myself,
form.
and I.
Perfect. So if your focus is people, your heart is transforming humanity, you let go of yourself, you'll sacrifice and always do the best for people.
Correct.
You'll not be selfish, because focusing on yourself shows that you're actually selfish. Not that you want to intentionally be selfish, but that is what it communicates.
Indirectly.
Because it's about you. It's not about people. But then we have to get out from that place and be selfless. Instead of selfish, you become selfless and think about the people, and then go out there and open your mouth and speak. Because what if that one message of yours is what was going to birth the next leader for a nation?
Wow.
But you decided to focus on yourself and not on giving the message.
Correct.
That means you've denied a nation a certain great speaker.
And that's wickedness, and it's a
the
sin.
Process.
Yeah.
So you see that? So it's that place of responsibility. But the last point I'll now mention is that start small. Start small. What do I mean by start small is, whenever you have an opportunity to speak or say something, open your mouth and speak. In meetings, get rid of that fear. Even if it's virtual or physical, learn to make a point, contribute. When they ask people to say something, because the thing is, you'll not become that good speaker. You'll not get to a place where you can easily overcome that fear if you do not take actions. Everything is based on actions. So part of the action for you when it comes to public speaking is learn to open your mouth to speak at every opportunity you get. Even if it's one sentence, start there. With time, you'll build momentum. Then one day you'll just realize, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable, and fear no longer holds you so much. Even if when it comes, you're like, I can do this.
Yeah, I can
so
do this.
Wherever you are, anytime you have an opportunity, whether it's at work, whether it's in different meetings, just learn to speak. Don't use personality traits. Now let me address that. Sometimes you're like, maybe I'm an introvert, I cannot speak, I can't be around people. Let personality types not deprive you of living your destiny,
Correct.
of using your voice, because you're out here to bring about transformation.
Yeah.
So live beyond all these things and just step out. And
You're
use
bigger
your
than
voice.
that.
You're bigger and use
Yeah.
your voice.
That's very correct, Faith. You know, once you know that you have responsibility, that you are on an assignment, you have a purpose to fulfill, then you will leave everything else and just be you, right? And just go for it anyway. It doesn't mean that people are not, you know, all of us, we face those fears.
Yeah.
But then it's all come down to, what am I here for?
Yeah.
Am I sent on something, and what am I going to do about it? There was a story I watched the other day about a lady that has really built a very strong brand in South Africa. She also has a podcast. I just know the name, Lebo Lion.
Yes, I know her.
Yeah. So she was sharing a story about how she used to be at school and how her classmates used to actually laugh at her because whenever they called them for English speaking and in class in front of the people, she would start shaking and cry and all of that, and think it goes on and like that. So one fateful day, she again did the same thing. They called everyone else, and everyone was just bursting into laugh before even she could go to the stage, because she would shake, she would even cry, like somebody is really, you know, doing something terrible to her. And she said, that very day, I just knew that I'm not created for that. And she decided, she said she actually collected our teddy bears, many of them, and will pretend like they are the people.
Oh,
So just do what you can.
Wow.
Just do what you can, even if it's these cameras, whatever that you have in your room.
Mirrors.
And mirror.
We have mirrors. Go to the mirror and practice speaking.
Exactly.
And then you have your phone.
Practice make perfect. Like,
You have
practice
your
make
phones.
perfect. There's nothing built overnight. You just
No.
have to do, you just have to be willing to always, you know, throw yourself in the deep ends. Whatever opportunity that you get. I'm not saying that you go to people program and you just speak forcefully.
No.
Like, I came to your program the other day, I would be like, now, Faith, let me speak. No.
Give me the microphone.
Yes, remember we are building a brand. So you have to live your brand. You have to be a brand. So, but whenever there is, you know, opportunity, just throw yourself in the deep ends and don't worry about what comes next, because our daily agenda determines how great you can be. Yeah.
True. That reminds me of something. It's something I always tell our students for the Fetaru School of Etiquette and Public Speaking. I always tell them, make time to just make recordings of your voice. Record something, even if it's 1 minute a speech. I know how awkward it is to listen to yourself sometimes.
It is.
But do it
is.
anyway.
Yeah.
Just do recordings of yourself and listen in. And then that thing of practicing in the mirror or somewhere. Get time, stand in that mirror and give that speech. It will even help you to know how your body language is.
I've done that.
How your body language is when you're speaking, how your eye contact is, because speaking has a lot of facets to it. It's not just the words we speak, it's how our body language is, it's how our vocal abilities are. There's so much to communication and public speaking out there. So use those opportunities, or even your friends. Now, like for her teddy bears, get people around you, say something to them and ask for their feedback.
Correct.
Sometimes we avoid feedback. These things help you build.
Feedbacks are very crucial. I remember there was one time I was invited to this event, and I ought to be one of the speaker, and fear just caught me. I was in the office and I was like, my God, what am I going to do? I cannot push back. I cannot tell them that I'm not going to do it, because obviously it's just about fear of the speaking. And I remember calling you on WhatsApp and I said, Faith, I'm invited. I'm going to speak, but I don't know. I'm so afraid. And you sent me this voice note. You know, you helped me. Thank you so much for that.
Wow, I didn't forgotten about it.
Yeah, so you helped me. You sent a voice note and telling me steps to step, telling me even I should, you know, breathe in and out. Like I should breathe in and out before starting anything to come. And just the fact, in fact, when you send me the voice note, just the voice note alone, before even opening it, had already given us the confidence.
Oh, wow.
Which is why I always emphasized on the law of environment. What circle are you keeping? What kind of people are you keeping? Are they people that support your growth? What calls are you receiving? Because it's not every call that you receive on phone that you can pick up and talk to. There are calls for discouragement. There are calls to water down whatever you're trying to build.
Yeah.
But it's not every call. Even in our phone, it's not every call that we pick, right?
No.
So there are calls that we ignore. And that brings me down to the questions, how important it is to have the ability to speak.
Wow.
Like just maybe one or two.
How important it is to speak.
Yeah.
That one I would
To
even
be a
hold.
speaker.
I would even hold a
I
master.
know that is. Let's do a master class here. I know we've done one
In the
last time.
studio.
This is another second master class.
Yeah. Honestly, embracing public speaking is so powerful. Because number one, English, you will not stop me.
No, in Jesus' name, we bind that. It will not English us.
Not at all. Public speaking, I would say, like personal branding, also helps you to affirm who you are. It gives you confidence to own your voice. Because each one of us has a voice.
Correct.
Within us. We have a message. But how will you give that message to the world if you cannot speak well? You get it? So that's what being a good public speaker does, or what public speaking does for us. It gives you that confidence to be able to own the message that you've been given for the world and give it out for the world intentionally and effortlessly. Because many people have lots of message for the world, but they can't say anything because they don't speak, or they're afraid, or they've not embraced public speaking. So number one, it gives you that confidence to just go out there and share your message with the world. Because if you're a good speaker, you'll be unstoppable. You enter any room, you're like, I'm going to speak it, I'm going to do this. So bring it on. But also, secondly, it amplifies your own brand. Public speaking and personal branding, they work together. They're like sister and brother.
Correct.
How do I... sister and sister, brother and brother, whichever.
Cousins or brother,
Yeah,
whatever
whichever way.
relationship. Yeah, but they're just closed.
Yes, because if you have a credible brand and you can also speak well, it establishes you as an authority. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
It establishes you as an authority.
I like that.
Because now here they'll see the evidence of all things, and then here they see you speak. So it establishes you as an authority, even in your brand. Because your public speaking still works to the advantage of your personal brand, and your personal brand still works to the advantage of your course as a speaker. They have a way they synchronize. So I will say that your public speaking can actually solidify your brand. Because now when you speak, it actually
You've
adds
already
more
brought
weight.
out the next question. That's good. I like that. I don't have to do it again.
Yeah, because it solidifies the brand that you're building.
Yeah.
Yes, it's okay to build your brand and everything, but now look at it this way. Now, when people invite you to speak in spaces, when you have opportunity to bless more lives, trust me, you become unstoppable, unforgettable. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You become unforgettable because people can now see what you're saying here. You can actually manifest it through your voice.
Correct.
Yeah, so public speaking is so powerful. It also helps you to build trust. Because if you're able to own your voice and give a message to the world or share it, people are able to trust you more.
Yeah.
And most speakers are trusted people.
Very.
Because people trust them with their platforms. People trust them with training their teams in organizations.
Yeah.
People can trust you with anything just because you can use your voice.
Your voice, yeah. Our voice are our power.
Very powerful. Very powerful. Our voices are very powerful if you just choose to embrace and use them. Voices are so powerful. I'm so passionate about it. I feel like I haven't even dug like a quote of what I could say about this. But just know one thing is that your voice is powerful. And if you can embrace public speaking, trust me, you're unstoppable.
Unshakable, unbreakable.
Yeah, because it can take, your voice goes across borders.
Correct.
Now, for example, this podcast, anyone across the world is listening. Aren't you transforming lives now?
Yeah.
You are. And then
imagine if the shyness and the fear of public speaking that I had now stopped me.
And you'll not be hosting this podcast. You'll not be receiving all the feedback that you've been receiving. So public speaking, I would say that public speaking helps you give of yourself to people. It's another thing to create content and all, but if you're able to use your voice, that means that you're giving people of who you are. And it's something, of course, there are people who can try and pretend you give people things from the script and people can see the difference. But if you're really speaking from your heart and from your experiences, it's like you're giving of who you are. I like to take it as though you're leaving a legacy in the lives of people. That one day, Martha is not there. One day, Fetaru is not there. But because of the words that we've spoken into the lives of people, those people have a bit of us. That's why you reach a place where the speakers who have taught people, and then those people start to speak like them, not because they're trying to copy, but it's because people have given of themselves. So public speaking is a way, I'll summarize, is a way through which you can give of who you are, your kindness, your greatness. You can transfer.
You're sharing what God has gifted you
to the world.
Yeah,
you
using
can
your
transfer
voice.
who you are to the world. Like we said, words are powerful. So your voice is powerful. It's like a transfer of who you are to people. Words are powerful.
Oh my
So
God.
public speaking is powerful. I'm even getting
Actually, you've just reminded me. Sometime I'm just like you. I get a little bit emotional when it comes down to this because I just imagine how many voices that go unheard every day.
Yes.
I mean, powerful voices that could transform lives because words are power.
Yes.
Even prayers. What are prayers? It's words that
Yes.
goes direct to God.
Yes.
If words can actually be able to even transform our lives through prayers that we pray to God, if they can touch God's heart, then our voices are more than what we think, actually.
Now, as you spoke, it reminded me of people out there. Now, there are people who are using their voices
Negatively.
to do malice and all these things.
Yeah.
And as they give these
And
things...
they work in that negative space.
Yes, and have you seen people who constantly listen to some people's advice online and what they're sharing, and they're becoming like that? Maybe it's they're giving you advice on relationships and marriage, and these things are also breaking some people's marriages.
They're misleading.
So you see
using
what I'm
their
saying?
voice to
because they're
mislead.
giving the experiences of who they are. So words are powerful. If someone
Very powerful.
If someone can transfer wickedness through their voice, and then another person can transfer life through their voice. So public speaking is so powerful. So if you can use it the right way, it means you're giving the world life. Anytime you open your mouth to speak, someone either receives hope or receives a new revelation, or their dreams are being defined. You're giving life to the world. Let me summarize it that way. That's how powerful
you're
public
giving the
speaking
lives
is.
to the world. I like that. Faith, that brings me down to another question. What makes a great speaker? What are a few of the steps? I know this is your favorite. What makes a great speaker?
Number one, great speakers are... They use how should I say? They're real. They use real stories because stories are things that stick with people. Now, I can see it in our conversation here. If someone listens to us, they can tell this is from the heart. They're sharing real stories and everything. It's not just something we read in some script. Encyclopedia and we're coming to give you. Now do this as a public speaking. Do this, you get it? Yeah, so be real as a speaker because human beings are emotional beings. So for you to appeal to them, they need things that they can relate with. So as a speaker, when you're sharing your experiences, use stories, use examples, because these are things that stick with people.
Real examples.
Yes, these are things that stick with them. But also number two, form emotional connections with people. So that's why you can bring aspects of your vocal abilities. For example, if I'm talking about something exciting, I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited to be on this podcast. Imagine if I said, I'm so excited to be on this podcast.
I'll be like, get out, girl.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And or you come in and say that, unfortunately, my grandmother passed away. You're not connecting, right?
Week for us. So, yes. So
God forbid my grandmother will not pass away in Jesus' name. Our grandmothers will live in Jesus' name.
So, amen.
It's just an example.
So that's what those are some things that make great speakers. You form emotional connections with people, and part of it is through the tone of your voice, because
Correct.
that's part of your vocal communication. We have what we call visual communication, verbal, vocal, and so part of verbal communication. Part of vocal communication is the tone of your voice, and the speed at which you're speaking, the volume, and all of that. So all of this can influence the emotional
language
aspect of your tone, and also your facial expressions.
Yeah.
If I'm excited, you'll see the smile,
Yeah.
and if I'm sad, you might perhaps see. So, as a great speaker,
You almost turned my face to because I was following you.
Oh, wow. So as a great speaker, learn to connect with your audience emotionally. Use your body language, use the tone of your voice. So your speech must reflect everything. There's something in principles of effective communication that we call consistency, which means that your words must align with your vocal abilities, and it must align with your body language. You
I
see
like
that?
I like that.
Yes, so that's how you can form an emotional connection with your audience, and that makes you a great speaker. Because if you
Wow.
cannot connect with people emotionally, what are you doing as
Exactly.
a speaker?
People will be sleeping.
Yeah, and then number 3, engage them. Make it about your audience too, not about yourself. So that means when I'm speaking, I'll ask questions so that they can respond and engage them. If I have activities, engage them, let them take part in the activities. Make it about them, because human beings love when things are about them, not
Yeah.
about you. They feel hard. They feel more hard when you can make things about them. So those are some things that can make you as a great speaker. But above all, make it about impact. Yeah.
Let it be for a good cause. I just love what you said. You were saying, you mentioned that human beings are emotional than, it's true, human beings are actually emotional than logical. And when you connect with them, you build that trust.
Yes.
And you bring out their vulnerability. People can even cry when a speaker speaks to them.
Yeah.
And I think just in addition to, as we coming to the close, is when you prepared yourself, also you mentioned a very crucial point about preparedness. When you don't know your stuff, of course, fear of public speaking will come in, and self-doubt will check in. You're trying to, because I don't care who you are, no matter how great a speaker you are, even people like Obama that we look up to, like Vusi, people, great speakers in the world, right? Like Maxwell, there is no way you cannot prepare yourself and go to speak. I think preparedness is very crucial thing. You just ought to know what are you going to say to the people, and understanding your audience and the body language, as you said. Wow, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed this conversation today. I feel like it should not end, but it has to end. I know we will we will have more conversations.
Sure.
Next time we can go to something else and talk about it. So thank you so much. And for my viewers, thank you so much for tuning in, even with your busy lives. Now, I just want to remind you that we are building a community, and there is no way we can build this community without you. We appreciate your love, those who have subscribed, those who have shared. Please do well to share it with others so that they can learn from such impactful video. And we want you to be part of this community. You're very much welcome. And thank you so much. Thank you for standing with us. Thank you, Faith Fetaru.
You're welcome.
The brand herself. Until next time, keep your voice heard. Arise, lead, and influence. You're born for greatness. You're born for impact. Now, before we close down, please, one last advice to the viewers out there.
All right. Own your voice, own your brand, because you were created for a purpose. You have potential inside of you. So embrace who you are and own your voice and transform the world, because no one else might do it the way you do. The truth is, I am not you. You are not me either. But there's so much in you that the world needs. But how will that come out with more intentionality? Is when you show up excellently. When you show up excellently, you're able to influence lives. The world out here is your platform on social media. Go out there and do something useful with your brand, with your gifts, with your talents. The world is waiting, and we shall be here to cheer you on. So go out there and change lives. Go out there, build that personal
We're your
brand.
cheerleaders.
Go out there
We're your cheerleaders.
and use your voice. Get out and become that great speaker.
Get out of that comfort zone.
Yes, go out and make the world a better place. We're rooting for you. We are, we'll be celebrating you all the way. But just know you have a purpose and you have so much that the world needs. So shine your light.
Thank you. Bye. See you next time.